Hi, my name is Terrence. Today I'm going to teach you how to have an AI walk randomly in the game. So what you see on the screen now is the AI following the cube. So what we're going to do two things in the flow graph. First, we want to have the cube spawn randomly at any given parameters. So in this case, it's the first grunt here and this grunt here. And second, we want the AI to run towards the cube, and we want a loop over and over again so that the AI will walk constantly. So we're going to start off by having a flat surface, so make sure you have a flat surface to work with. So just click toolbar, terrain and modify, and then we want to set up the parameters. So you can do it with anything you want, but for me it's easier to do it with grunts. So you put the grunt on one side of the parameter, and this is the other side. So this is the area which we want the AI to walk around randomly. Then you have AI that will actually follow the cube, and lastly we would have a physic AI and basic entity. So this entity is which the AI is going to follow. We're going to give you a body, so this is a cube. Okay, so select the grunt, which the AI which you want to follow, walk randomly, sorry. So click create and new, give it a name. And now you're going to have a start node, so under miscellaneous, start, and then you have logic any. Next we're going to have AI execute, and then entity ID. Okay, so we want to draw output to number 1, and then an out to sync, and then if we succeed, sync again, and ID to object ID. So go back into your game. So select the cube and go to ID entity and assign a selected entity, and then go to the grunt, select the grunt, and go to AI execute, and then select as graph entity, and we want to give it an action. So in this action over here, we're going to give it a sprint combat. So this will have the AI run towards the cube. Next, we want to have the cube generated, to generate any given point. So we're going to have another logic any, so that it will create a loop. Now we want to have math and random. So you just copy and paste math random, two of them, because we want to have x and y values. So output to int and succeed to number 2 to generate x and y value, and then to have vector 3 to vector 3. So you want to give it x and y value. Okay, now we need to set the value for x and y. So if you select your first grunt, oops, so if you select your first grunt, you'll be able to see the where it is actually located at the bottom of the screen. So you have the position, so 79, it's the x value, and 105, so gives a minimum of 75. So type in the values. 480 is the max, and 474 is the minimum for the y. 474, 480. And then the z value should be 23 on both sides. Yeah, so give it a value of 23. So this way the object will actually spawn in the right place. And last, we're going to have entity and entity plus, entity plus. So this is to run to the position of the entity. So we select cube again and give it a signed entity. There you go. So that should be it. It's not that hard, it's quite easy. Let's test it out at the moment. And yeah, there you go. So thanks for watching my tutorial. Hope you found it helpful.